Hey there, vinyl community. How you doing? I'm Gary, and this is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the weather is changing, right? It's fall now, and we know colder weather is just around the corner. Well, this got me thinking about my old dog Nelly. Nelly was a black lab that we had in the family. Got her when my boys were, just little boys, and she grew up with them, passed away a couple years ago. But we always used to come back here and walk on these trails, coming back to the river and different spots. Sometimes the boys would be with me, sometimes it's just me and her. We used to do that a lot, especially as the weather started to turn, because you can't come back here in the summer because you'll get ticks all over you. But this is a spot that she used to like to go. Matter of fact, she would come over right here at the water and walk around in it. And if it was, kind of shallow at the time, she would actually lay down in that water every now and then, which I didn't really want her to do, but I wasn't going to stop her. She loved coming out here. I didn't have her on a leash or anything. She was just running all around. She was pretty good about that. But anyway, it got me thinking about songs about dogs. And I thought maybe you guys might want to join in on this. But I thought, I'm going to name my top 5 songs about dogs. So first off, coming in at number 5 would be Me and You and a Dog Named Boo by Lobo. I remember that song from when I was a little kid, me and you and a dog named Boo. Living off the land. Story about a guy and his girl and his dog just kind of crossing the country there, kind of a romantic vision, as it were. So that's kind of a catchy little tune. Coming in at number 4 would be Martha, My Dear by the Beatles. That was off the White Album, and that was about Paul McCartney's dog. Maybe not everybody knows that, but he actually wrote that song about his dog. I think it was an English sheepdog, I believe. I'm not sure. Coming in at number 3 would be by Neil Young. It's Old King, which is off of Harvest Moon, the Harvest Moon album. Old King is about a dog that he had that passed away. I think the dog might have actually been called Elvis. That's why he called it Old King in the song. It's pretty straight up country song as far as that goes, but it's a catchy little tune. And I believe Nicolette Larson is singing in the background on that song. So that's a good one. Coming in at number 2, one of my favorite songs about a dog, and that would be Bon Voyeur Stomp, which of course is by Led Zeppelin. That's on the Led Zeppelin 3 album that has kind of the mixture of acoustic songs on there. That is another country song, Yeah, I saw you smiling at me. Is that the way it should be? Like a leaf is to a tree so fine. I love that song. There's a line in there. Let me see. I think I have it pulled up on my phone. Yeah. So it says, as we walk down the country lanes, I'll be singing a song, you hear me calling your name. Hear the wind whispers in the trees, telling Mother Nature about you and me. See, that just fits right here. I feel like I can still feel my dog back in here. That song was actually about Robert Plant's dog. Strider was the name of the dog. He got the name Strider from, one of those J.R. Tolkien things, one of the Hobbit deals. Of course, Robert Plant was into all that stuff, so that's where he got the name Strider. And my number 1 song about a dog is Hokey as Hell. And it is Mr. Bojangles by Jim Stafford. Jim Stafford did a version of that song on one of his albums. And it's the basic song, Mr. Bojangles. but then he also does a part in there where he's talking, and you know, he's supposed to be Mr. Bojangles, and he's talking about his dog and how he misses the dog. They traveled across the land, and you know, there's a couple lines in there where he says, after he's, you know, he says, "Why is it that a dog don't get to live very long, but he's still got to die of old?" And you know, that's kind of the way you feel about dogs. Then at the end there, he says, "You know, I sure do miss that old dog." And it is so corny, but I swear it chokes me up every time I hear that song. You know, just makes me think about Nelly, or maybe some other dogs I had growing up, but definitely about her. So anyway, those are my 5 songs about dogs. I'd be curious what are some of your favorite songs about dogs, or maybe you just want to share a memory about a dog you've lost that you still think about, still a friend that you miss. So I thought about making this into a vinyl thread, but I'm like, well, I don't know. That's kind of presumptuous. That you know, that's me assuming that people actually watch this channel. So I'm not going to necessarily make it a vinyl thread, but I would definitely like to hear from you, if nothing else, on this one. So till the next time, my friends, I will see you down the road.